Hey guys, it's me, my face, and months worth of stuff. This week's Happy Dance, or this month's, or this season's Happy Dance is brought to us by Polar Seltzer in orange vanilla, because that's what was sitting next to me. If you're new here, my name is Andrea, and this is a channel about cross-stitch and anything else I think of. That's it in a nutshell. If you're a returning visitor, welcome back. I have many things to dive into. I'm going to front load with stitching, and then we will move into, my God, what have we been up to? We are going to talk about my hair, but we're going to do it later. So let's just jump in with the project that I thought I was showing you today as a finish, and then I looked at it and realized I didn't finish it. So this is the Witch is In from Rovaris. I believe the information will be there, but I believe it was in Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. I want this to be done. I want this to be done, so done. Whatever. This is where I'm at. No, we go over here. It's almost done. And I thought it was done, but there's supposed to be a moon up here. I didn't do the moon. I don't even have threads pulled for the moon. Maybe I was never gonna do the moon, but now I need to do the moon. I'm thinking maybe like a ecru etoile. It's supposed to be some off gray, but I thought maybe a little sparkle would be nice. I never should have started the hat. I had thought about just doing the wording and leaving the hat off. And then I started stitching the hat as if that had always been the plan. And there we go. It took a long time. To do that hat, and it came out great. Unfortunately, I underestimated how much thread that was going to take, and I did not have enough. So luckily I had stitched like up to here, and then I went to a different color. What that color is, I don't remember. And then I returned up here to the original color, and that at least looks intentional. I mean, I'm telling you here it wasn't intentional, but it looks intentional. No one's going to question it, and if they do, they can leave. I'm still hoping to make this into a flat fold. It is big, so I don't know. A lot bigger than... If I had to go back, I would have done this 1/1 on 28. Because I like that the variegated threads kind of hide stitch issues, but I'm not used to stitching with 2 strands. And this was all the railroading. All the railroading. So hopefully next time we meet, 2027, this will be an FFO. The next thing I worked on is Witch's Hollow. This is from the Primitive Needle, and I have waited so very long to be stitching this. My goal, let's show it to you first. I mean, guys, I started this at Stitch New England last year. So that was October. And my goal was to have it finished for October this year to put on the ta-da table. I think I'm on track. I think I can do that. My problem is, again, I underestimated how much thread I was going to need, and I didn't make good decisions. How odd for me. About what to do with what I had. I thought I had like 3 skeins of charcoal, and that is the primary like black color that you see throughout. And 3 skeins, they went fast. Additionally, I had the 3 skeins, one of those skeins was significantly darker than the other 2. So I tried to use that in things like I would use it in standalone things like dresses and keys and moons and things, just because it doesn't need to be consistent across anything. But now I'm up here with like these long lines and blocks of color, and I have a whole tree to do over here, and I need it to match. I mean, not match, but if I were to order more skeins and it came as dark as my odd skein, that would be kind of obvious that the thread changed. I don't know that it matters that much. I mean, this is prim. It's as prim as you can get. I am going along. You can see I'm down to 1 dangly thread. I did have several because I was taking from different places in the skein, and I wanted to pick up where I had left with the right skein. So I had all these things started and whatnot. I mean, it's coming out so nice. I'm going to be really happy when it's done, but I have to figure out what to do with my charcoal. I got very excited on Saturday because I had some manner of energy, and I was going to take a ride over to Stitch New England and compare my charcoal with the charcoal she has and get the right things. And the nerve, the cheek, they're not open. It's fine. I'm going to order it. I'm just going to ask her to try to just see that they're all consistent, and we'll work from there. But yeah, that was, I was very excited to do that too. It'll get done. It's going to get done. I've had a really good time stitching on it. And when you get into it, it really does move fast because it's a whole bunch of little things. Although there was one part, I think it was that tombstone down there, that just seemed, it was never ending. It just never ending. But the end for this is in sight. Those are my only whips, because everything else is a finish. I started out this year as kind of the year of the small, because I was tired of not finishing anything ever and working and never finishing anything ever. So I said, I'm going to do some little bitty things to, little momentum kind of. And it worked. It kept me going for like January, February. But then I started just picking up Witch's Hollow every time I wanted to stitch. It was there, it was convenient, it was ready for me, and it needed to get done. So I could not find them because naturally they were right on top of the pile. These are from Liz Matthews. These are, what are they called? Quaker Mini Treats, which sounds very much like cereal. And they're just little doodahs, little things. I haven't decided if I want to maybe cut them out and put them back to back and make a pillow, or make them each individual little, just mounted on some mounting board and like I can do this ornament, like an ornament. But it was just a great excuse to use some silks, which was very nice. 2026 is also the year of not being so precious about things. Like I would always hold on to the silks and say, well, I can use that for something extremely special, extremely special. I sat there and I stitched this. It's special enough. Use the good stuff. My next finish is a Scandinavian. It was supposed to be a pattern to go on a towel. I'm putting things on towels. So I just did this Scandinavian style tree. And I like it because it's different. I'm not, those are not my usual colors. Those aren't the things I usually do. But I liked it. And it was a good chance to, again, use up some things I had been holding on to and things that, things I forgot I had. So I'm hoping to have this mounted and use it as I don't know, for a tree ornament, but maybe for like a 3-tiered tray during the holidays. And the other good thing too is it's not specifically Christmas, so it can be wintry. It can hang out. It can hang out with us. She can sit with us. These are all prairie schoolers. Love prairie schoolers. I will put up the information because I get these mixed up. I have Boo Moon, which comes with like 5 patterns, and then I have Cats, Bats, and Witches, and that comes with another 5, and it'll be over there. So this is an Owl and Moon, which I want to say is like the back cover of whatever it is I stitched this from. Look at the back stitching. That looks so good. I'm going to show you the rest of these, and I'm going to tell you why they're not right. These are, if I had thought further ahead of time, I would have just done these like as a wall hanging and spaced them out nicely, that kind of thing. I didn't do that, and I'm not restitching them. So to heck with that. So we have the moon and the little city. We got the moon and the cat. And this I love. This is, let me see if I can get it. Okay. Look at the happy tree. Look at this tree. He is just so happy to be here. You don't go wrong with prairie schoolers. They're quick, they're little, limited colors, not a whole lot to think about, and somewhat forgiving. Here's the thing though. I watch probably more FLOSSTUBE than is healthy. And everybody shows off their dough bowls or their 3-tiered trays, and they've got these beautiful, chunky pillows on them with and they're like sawdust, or they're walnut shells, they're things like that. And they've got weight and they've got heft, and they look so good in the bowl. I said, I got to make some little ones. I got to make some little pillows, but these are too small to be pillows. I don't know. I almost feel like instead of pillows, I should make them almost like little quilts and have like a backing and some batting. Backing and batting, and just maybe give it a little like stitch around to quilt it, and do it that way. Because I feel like if I make these into pillows, they're going to end up like round or wider than I don't think they're going to come out nice. I do not have faith that these will make nice little pillows. So I got to do something else with them. But if you ever decide or say, I want to do a bunch of those, these would look really good, a whole bunch of them in a row. Because they're all slightly round in the same way. So imagine a whole bunch of these on a wall hanging. I think that would be really good. So those are all the finishes. I do have, it's not fully finished, but this is something that I actually put in the Etsy store. You know, the 250 anniversary is coming up for the US. The US is a flaming mess right now. You can make the downvote thingy all you want, and you're not going to change my mind. So I was not feeling terribly patriotic. So what I made is protest is not insurrection. Because fun fact, it isn't. I had this wrapped around various things in the house when I was taking pictures for Etsy. But when trying to find a way to show it to you today, I thought, oh, it's going to be too big to go around the tomato. It's perfect to go around the tomato. I obviously need to get rid of all the excess and fold it down correctly, but it would actually look really cute on a tomato or any other kind of pin cushion. Maybe I will have this better FFO'd the next time we meet. This next thing is a long, sad tale of UFOs, not those kind, but the other kind, and my desire to do just something different. I wanted to make a strawberry. I see them everywhere. They look so good. They look intricate, and yet I know they're not. They're very straightforward. The hardest part is the top. The worst part of mine is the top. But I didn't want to go through stitching an entirely new project just to try making a strawberry. So I went into my closet and I found an old, I want to say it's a fox and rabbit, maybe. You know what happens over there. That I had started ages ago and didn't like how it was coming out, didn't like what I was doing with it, and I just I UFO'd it. I put it away. Did you know that you can cut up your old UFOs and use them for things? We're not looking at the cap. Don't look at the cap. But I made a strawberry. And now I know, yeah, there's a big blank space there. You know why? Because I'm just working this. But now I know what goes into it and that it'll look good and that I do have some measure of skills to accomplish it. And I wasn't even trying, but this really did come out like red and green, so I could put this out at the holidays. I could leave it out all year. It's mine. I do what I want with it. I watched tutorials. I watched Helen D. She can teach anything. I watch her work and it looks so good. It looks so good. And then I sat down and I said, I can always take it off. It's, I ended up gluing it because I just didn't want to stay down. It looked like an umbrella. This isn't better. And the button is just overkill. But the strawberry looks good. So put your UFOs to work and try some new finishing on them because you don't care about them anymore. It's not that I don't care about you. You don't care about them anymore. So what else has happened since we last met? We watched the Olympics. Love the Olympics. I never get tired of the Olympics. But I have to say, they don't have the magic that they used to hold. And probably because as a small child watching the Olympics, there was a chance I might have been able to do one of those things. I think I pretty much passed my prime when it comes to that. But I also feel like I don't like the coverage. I don't like capitalism, period. I mean, I just really don't. I understand NBC needs to make money, but there has to be a way to subsidize something like the Olympics so that you're not getting commercials every 7 minutes. Or that part of the coverage you want to watch ends up on a channel that you now have to pay for because there was stuff over on Peacock that I didn't get to see. And it just made everything very difficult and it felt very corporate. And I don't like that. I think there are things in this world that are special. You know, remember when you would watch something And they would come on and say, this is being presented with limited commercial interruptions thanks to Ford F-150 or something like that. I remember that. Get off my lawn. I'd love to see more of that. I have been heavily influenced by Bendy Stitchy, Michelle Garrett, and others who use Notion to keep track of their cross-stitching. I know that there are some pre-built templates out there and they look really cool, but I kind of wanted to learn Notion, so I figured the best way would be for me to, build it as I go. And I have. And I gotta tell you, I am just a little bit impressed with myself. Just a little bit. I have a button on things. So like, if I'm done stitching for the night, I pull up Notion and I pull up the thing that I was working on and I just tap a button, and it puts an entry in my stitching journal that I stitched on that thing that day. It also sets a flag that tells me that I have worked on that since the last floss tube. And so when I sit down to do a floss tube, I know what projects I need to bring out. It's fun. This is my idea of fun, is doing things like that. So I have also expanded this things in the Notion app to cover, I'm not going to call them new interests because they've always been my interests, but I am kind of letting myself explore them more than I have. And you can call it woo-woo. That's fine. I ain't afraid of you. I have been looking at telekinesis. I have been looking at remote viewing. I've signed up for a tarot class coming up. Apparently with tarot, you're not supposed to wing it. Who knew? And I liked this woman that was I took a free intro kind of thing. And I liked her because I said something and she says, nope, that's not right. And so few people correct me and give me the right information. I don't know why that is, but they just don't. I liked her and I figured I can probably learn something from her because she's not going to pat me on the head and say, oh, that's very creative. Tell me how to work with the thing. So I have that coming up. I've also been doing more work with my pendulum, which I did not think I could ever really use well because I'm arthritic and I'm not terribly, steady. But I was playing with it basically, and it really was just, I could get it to just stop, just sit still. And I figured if I could get it to sit still, I must be sitting still enough that I'm not nudging it all over the place. So I'm playing with that. The other thing I'm actively playing with, and again, get off my lawn. Does anybody remember Uri Geller? Of course you do, because he was on That's Incredible and Johnny Carson and all that things. In a time period that clearly I was just a wee infant thing, but I remember it. Love Uri. I know there's all things about him. That's fine. I want to bend a spoon. I want to bend a spoon. I watched the videos. I've seen people videos from spoon bending parties where 20 people get together and they're all bending the spoons. And I'm like, if these people who don't even necessarily are interested in this, who wrote this? A group of people who are not necessarily as interested in something like this as, say, I am, that, puts a lot of time and energy into it. If they can walk in that night and do the thing and and bend the spoon, then I definitely should be able to do it. I should. I've spent a lot of time talking to the spoon. The spoon is not being forthcoming. When I do bend the spoon, y'all gonna hear about it. In completely unrelated news, my medication has been adjusted. I know what that sounds like. No, I have a problem where like mid-afternoon, like 3:00, my entire body says, you need to sleep now. I don't care how much sleep you got before. I don't care what time you planned on going to bed. You need to fall asleep right now, and I will fall asleep in the chair. My eyes will just close and I will fall asleep. Because things and stuff. So what we essentially did was upped the amount of Wellbutrin that I take each day from 150 to 200, but split them between 2 100 milligram pills. So I take one earlier in the day and then one later in the day, and that seems to keep the crash from happening. So that's working out. I have to pull myself together because they have told me I have to go back to the office 2 days a week. It's definitely doable. I just don't want to. I am so happy working at home. I get so much done. But they're going to make me start going back to work, which means 1, I need to lose another 40 pounds. And 2, I need to buy clothes because I have no work clothes left. They're all just, they either don't fit or they're just old and nasty, and I don't want to wear those. So now I said we were going to talk about my hair. Briefly put, I am extremely vain about my hair. Extremely vain. And because the universe has a sense of humor, while going through a stressful time, a large amount of my hair ended up in the bottom of the tub. The dermatologist doesn't know why. We don't know why. I at this point, I don't care why. It's just what it is. So I have been inspired and influenced by Janine at the Blue Flower. We love her. She wears wigs because she likes them. Because sometimes she doesn't want to do her hair. Because sometimes her hair doesn't do the thing she wants it to do that day. And I said to myself, I can do that. I could get all kinds of fun wigs. And then when my hair is not pleasing me, I can do that. So I own 5, but I don't like one of them. And I want you to pick the one that I wear in my next video. Let's do this. There is the long silver one. There is the short kind of strawberry auburn one. There is the shorter dark brown one. And the shorter kind of a plum color one. So you tell me out of all those, which one you think I should start with on FLOSSTUBE. I have to trim up some bangs. I learned to cut bangs. You know I'm serious about something if I actually do something dangerous with it. Because if you overcut a wig's bangs, they don't come back. They don't come back. So cast your votes down in the comments and let me know what you think. Excuse me. Right now I'm just buying kind of cheap ones to have fun with, and then we'll see if there's any that I want to, expand on, or I have to find one that's going to be like my everyday kind of deal. So I'll probably invest in that one. So that is about all I have. And I made notes and I stuck to them. And I'm shocked. I'm also shocked that this isn't 2 hours because I felt like I had 30,000 things to say. Anyway, as always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for your likes and even your dislikes. And especially thank you for the comments. I read every single one of them and I try to, at the very least, acknowledge them. And they really do make me feel like part of a community. Thanks for being that community. Bye, guys.